Welcome to our quantum deep dive. Today, we're confronting the ultimate state of matter. In this explainer, we are closely examining a comprehensive essay by Jörg Owe Schnepphat. His work rigorously details the theoretical frameworks, the massive experimental efforts, and the cosmological implications of the Quark-Gluon Plasma. This isn't just some theoretical abstraction. We are talking about the physical foundation of the early universe. Here is exactly how we're going to break it down. First, we'll define this ultimate state of matter. Second, we dissect the laws of quantum chromodynamics. Third, we analyze how we actually detect the invisible. Fourth, we place this plasma in its true cosmological context. And finally, we evaluate the quantum technology frontier. Let's get straight into it.
Section 1. The ultimate state of matter, breaking the bounds of nuclei.
To really grasp this, we have to strip away the familiar structure of reality. We need to look at what happens when fundamental forces are pushed to their absolute thermodynamic limits. A Quark-Gluon Plasma, or QGP, is exactly that, an extreme thermodynamic state. In normal matter, quarks and gluons are strictly confined within hadrons, the protons and neutrons inside atomic nuclei. But in a QGP, that confinement is violently broken. They exist freely. Think of it like ionizing a standard gas to free its electrons, but here, the unbinding happens on a fundamental, subnuclear level. To force this kind of subnuclear unbinding, the environmental conditions have to be completely apocalyptic. The required threshold temperature is 10 to the 12th Kelvin, over 1 trillion degrees. Let the sheer magnitude of that number sink in for a moment. This represents an energy density nearly an order of magnitude greater than the core of a standard atomic nucleus. It is a state of extreme thermal violence. There's a physical paradox at the heart of this. At low, everyday energies, we observe confinement. The strong force binds quarks permanently. You literally cannot isolate one. But completely counterintuitively, as the energy scale rises to extreme levels, we reach what's called asymptotic freedom. The strong interaction actually weakens. Quarks are permitted to move freely. This mathematically predicted behavior is the very reason this plasma state can exist at all. Moving to Section 2, Quantum Chromodynamics, the theoretical laws of strong interactions. Now we shift from physical conditions to the strict mathematical laws governing this subatomic realm. The dynamics of the strong force are dictated by a framework known as SU3 gauge symmetry. Simply put, this describes the specific geometry of how these particles interact. The interaction is mediated by 8 distinct types of gluons. Now, unlike the electrically neutral photons in electromagnetism, gluons themselves carry the charge of the strong force. We call this color charge, theoretically categorized as red, green, and blue. Because gluons interact with each other, the math is highly nonlinear. And as we just established, the crucial point is this. At high energies, the coupling strength between these charges decreases. But here's where things get interesting. The empirical reality of QGP completely defied our initial scientific expectations. As Schnepphat's essay notes, QGP shows nearly perfect fluidity, with extremely low shear viscosity, completely contradicting expectations of an ideal gas. Instead of a chaotic gas of free particles, it behaves as an almost perfect fluid. Intriguingly, the theoretical limit for this perfect fluidity wasn't derived from standard thermodynamics. It came from string theory holography, specifically the mathematical connection between gravity and quantum field theory. Section 3. Detecting the invisible, smashing heavy ions. Since this plasma doesn't just exist naturally in our current environment, we have to engineer the conditions to resurrect it. 2 monumental colliders are responsible for generating these extreme densities. The Relativistic Heavy Ion Collider, or RHIC, in the United States uses gold ions, smashing them at collision energies up to 200 giga-electron volts. Meanwhile, the Large Hadron Collider at CERN in Geneva uses lead ions, hitting a staggering 5.02 tera-electron volts. These immense machines are explicitly designed to force that phase transition into QGP. But we face a severe diagnostic limitation. The lifespan of the generated plasma is 10 to the negative 23rd seconds. That is roughly the time it takes light to cross a single proton. Direct observation? It's physically impossible. We can only ever observe the after effects. We rely entirely on forensic data. So, how do we prove what we can't actually see? We look for specific forensic signatures. First, jet quenching. High-speed particles lose measurable energy as they try to punch through the dense, opaque medium. Second, elliptic flow. This is an anisotropic collective movement of particles that proves we're looking at fluid dynamics, not just independent gas collisions. Third, specific hadronization patterns. As the plasma cools, it spits out anomalous ratios of baryons to mesons, along with an enrichment of strange quarks. These are the indisputable fingerprints of the QGP.
Section 4. QGP in the Early Universe, the Cosmological Context.
We have to zoom out from localized collider data and look backward to the macro-scale origins of the cosmos. Let's trace the period where QGP was the absolute, dominating state of reality. At 0 seconds, the Big Bang. For the first microsecond, up to 10 to the negative 6 seconds, the universe was entirely a hot, dense Quark-Gluon Plasma. Approaching 10 to the negative 5 seconds, the universe expanded and rapidly cooled. As the temperature dropped past that critical threshold, the hadronization crossover began. Quarks became permanently confined. Matter, as we know it, was frozen into existence.
This leaves us with a critical, unresolved mystery. Did the QCD phase transition trigger the permanent imbalance between matter and antimatter? Standard models tell us matter and antimatter should have been produced equally and annihilated completely. Yet, here we are. The universe exists. It's theorized that specific topological configurations and symmetry-breaking processes within the hot QGP may have enabled baryogenesis, that slight asymmetry that allowed ordinary matter to survive.
Section 5. Quantum Technology Frontier, Simulating the Impossible. To resolve these ultimate questions, we are pushing right up against the limits of classical physics. And in doing so, we're driving the future of quantum technology. Classical lattice QCD relies on Monte Carlo simulations run on classical supercomputers. It works for static thermodynamics, but it completely fails at high particle densities due to a mathematical roadblock known as the sign problem. Enter quantum computing. Quantum hardware can process real-time dynamics and highly entangled, non-perturbative states, natively using Hamiltonians, which are essentially the mathematical equations describing a system's total energy. Because QGP is deeply quantum, simulating its exact evolution requires a machine operating on those exact same quantum principles. And this extreme research isn't just theoretical. It yields real-world technological dividends. The pipeline is direct. QGP experiments demand unprecedented particle tracking capabilities to parse millions of collisions per second. To do that, engineers design highly sensitive silicon pixel trackers and ultra-fast colorimeters. That exact subnuclear technology is then transferred outward. It directly enhances modern medical PET scanners and radiation-hardened space technology. Abstract physics reliably engineers concrete reality. The data collection is far from over. Next-generation facilities like FAIR and Darmstadt and NICA and Dubna are currently under construction. Their objective is to map the densest, coldest unknowns of the QCD phase diagram. They are explicitly hunting for the critical point, the exact threshold where the smooth crossover of particles turns into a violent, first-order phase transition. We have systematically unpacked the theoretical and experimental architecture of the early universe. This analysis is firmly grounded in the work of Jörg O. A. Schneppet. I highly direct you to schneppet.de. It is an authoritative platform offering transparent, precise, and accessible information on quantum technology for both novices and experts. If you want critical perspectives on this rapidly advancing field, it is a necessary resource for a rigorous understanding of these domains. I will leave you with this final, provocative consideration. As we engineer increasingly powerful quantum computers for the explicit purpose of simulating the exact plasma that dominated the Big Bang, are we merely measuring the universe, or are we finally learning to compute with its source code?
Schneppet.de is a private project by Jörg O. A. Schneppet dedicated to promoting quantum technology. Its mission is to present knowledge in a way that is clear, precise, and transparent for those just starting out, as well as for experts who wish to deepen their expertise. He firmly believes that education and access to well-structured information are the keys to unlocking the full potential of this future technology. If his work helps you realize your own visions and actively and consciously shape quantum technology, then the goal of his project has been achieved.